Yeah, I broke him. I rolled over on him. Fell asleep and rolled over on him. I'm talking to humankind right now. I want to make this simple because it's really not hard. Until we come together collectively as a race, and I mean human race, it's always going to have this suffering going on. And I'm not going to ask you to dip into your personal reservoir of thoughts and feelings because you obviously don't have any. You're fixated on one idea, and instead of having any sort of solutions, your intentions are to be mean and cruel. I mean, period, point blank. That's really what it boils down to. And you're not saying, okay, this is an issue for society, and here are about 10 different ways that we can solve the problem. What you're saying is, this is an issue for society. Your issue specifically, pointing at the person who's having the societal problem, and find a way to fix it. It's essentially what you're saying. And I find that comical coming from people who are on this app talking about working 2 or 3 jobs. So you're happy about that? You're proud of that? You are proud that you are supposed to be the most superior race on the planet and you have to work more than one job to maintain your lifestyle? What's killer is I am a customer service representative for an investment firm. These people are not broke. The people that are making all of these nasty suggestions are not broke. They may not be liquid, but they're not even broke. Even I'm not completely broke. And I don't have much. I would probably only make it a month right now. If I had to start from scratch, I would and live off of what I've got, I would make it about a month. And I'm still luckier than a lot of other people. Even I recognize that. And my lifestyle is relatively comfortable. Is it luxurious? No, but it is full of comfort and joy. And I thought that was the goal. It's really not hard. I don't need a book. As a matter of fact, I'm about sick of people coming at me with this book, to be honest with you. I need a break from the book as well. I don't consider myself a Christian, and I am not signed up to any religion because you people are sick. I don't need a book to tell me how to treat another individual. I bumped into a woman. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to make this a long video because at first I was going to make it short. About a month ago, on the phone, I had a man who was stranded in California, and he was trying to put down $100 deposit on a hotel room. And I didn't ask him a lot of personal questions, for one thing, because, you're really not supposed to do that. And then for two, it didn't really matter. So I said, well, go back into the hotel and let me speak to the lady behind the counter. I did, and I offered to pay the $100, and she said, I can't take it from you this way because you're not here to show me your identification and sign off on it. I said, I'm so sorry. Okay, thanks. And I said to him, I hope that you find a family member or a friend that's nearby. Now, this past week, I've been out and about doing my adulting, and there was a little lady in a wheelchair, and she could hardly speak. So her mind was all there, but her speech, she had some sort of an impediment. And she said, I need $7 for a shot. I said, where at? Because there's both a Kroger with a little clinic in it, and there's an urgent care place in this same multi-business complex that I was in. I was trying to find a cord for an appliance that I wanted to replace. Turns out I didn't need to replace it, but that's not the point. So she says, I need a shot for $7. And I'm thinking, this baby is in a wheelchair. She's got a speech impediment. Let's just get her what she needs. So I said, okay, here's what I want you to do, Hot Wheels. I want you to roll around to the Kroger and I'm going to pay for this shot. And I was just going to, keep things moving. Now, this particular woman, she disappeared on me. And so my mom was like, oh, she probably needed or wanted the $7 for something and she didn't want to tell you what it was for. I said, well, she'd have been better off because then we wouldn't have wasted a whole hour of my life trying to help this woman, because I kept trying to look for her and go back and try to find her and all that stuff. It was a hot mess, but that's okay. I wished her well and I really hope she's okay. I hope somebody didn't snatch her or something. And she could have just said, no, I would have rather have the money. But I think that she didn't know what to do once I was so willing to help, but not willing to give it to her the way she wanted. So I share those thoughts and feelings because in both instances, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take it back a minute. So about 6 months ago, I was out of work. I had a serious issue going on and I was out of work, and I had gone to a Wendy's and bought about 5 or 6 sandwiches so I wouldn't have to cook over the next couple of days, because I was not going to be able to do that. I was also coming off of some surgery. So anyway, I was buying these sandwiches so that I would have something quick and convenient if I needed it. And these 2 guys were standing outside, and one of them comes up to the car. Me and my buddy are trying to get something to eat. And what I did was I ended up giving them a couple of sandwiches out of the bag, because I was like, I'm not going to go back through. I'm certainly not going to give you. I don't give money. I will fucking slay you on the street through your throat if you touch my money. I cannot help it. Don't touch the money. What do you need? I will buy it. I will create it. I will help you raise the money. Don't touch my money. It's just a personal thing for me about that. And so anyway, I was I was cleaning my mother's coat. She has this nice thick winter coat. We don't clean the heavy stuff here at the house. We take that up to those fancy machines. Take a $20 and your really heavy bedding stuff, your winter gear, some things that are just, I think, why damage your own shit, when there's a machine that actually can handle it, right? I went up to wash her winter coat, and there was these 2 guys outside, and they were not outside of the laundry mat, but they were outside of the corner store so I went in there to go get something to drink while I was waiting. And I had forgotten that I had taken more than I really needed, because now you have to use these little cards for the laundry. Anyway, all these details, right? For no reason. The point is that I ended up giving them $20 to go get something to eat. And in all of these cases, my point is, I didn't care. I don't give a rat's ass how you got where you are. You are there now. If there's something I can do to help, I'm going to do it. If I can't help, I'm just going to tell you I can't help. Or if I'm just simply not going to help. Can't help you today. Not participating today. I don't feel some kind of way when I do that, because if I've got it, I'm going to give it. If I don't have it, or I don't want to do it for whatever the reason, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take this all the fuck the way back to Atlanta, Georgia. When I lived and worked in Atlanta, Georgia, so I went and graduated high school in Atlanta, Georgia. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia during my teenage years, and I went to high school there. So I was there for a significant amount of time, years. And I, at some point, was working as a courier. So my day would start at 5:30 in the morning at the office, way out somewhere. And it's exactly kind of what happens with the Uber now. They fill up your car, and they have already mapped out how long it should take you to do everything. And they were really good at it. I mean, I would be off at 5 o'clock. If the traffic went well, and I would be off at 5 o'clock, and then I had a second job. And I was working as a pizza delivery person. Now, I've always carried this. The job that I have now is the first job that I have ever had where I did not specifically have to go out and get a second job in order to maintain a healthy, normal life. And some of that is because of the way things worked out for me. Because if everything was on me before, I would still need a second job right now. And that says something. But anyway, all the way back in Atlanta, Georgia, I was working at, let's just go to show you, I swear. People think we're crazy. There was this white boy. He opened up a Domino's Pizza in the hood. He didn't like black people, but he opened up a Domino's Pizza place in the hood because he knew that that's where the money was, right? So because he was in the hood, there were crackheads. The hood and crackheads go together. And so there were these men that would sit outside the Domino's, sit in this little complex and ask for money. And I said to one of the gentlemen, I said, the minute I start recognizing your ass, I'm cutting you off. I started recognizing him. I cut him off. I was everything but a child of God. And guess what? I didn't give a shit. I wasn't giving you no more money. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next lifetime, bitch. You got your last dime from me here on earth ever. And another thing that I recognized, I'm going to pull you forward a little bit. I worked for a nonprofit organization, and the men were babies and the women were warriors. And this was not a social experiment, y'all. I was getting paid. The men always had their fucking hands out. The men were always begging. But the women, the ones that needed the most help, didn't say shit. You would have to peep out their situation and kind of insert yourself a little bit. It was insane. By the time a woman came to you and said, I'm in trouble, what she was really saying is, I've been in trouble for so long now that I can't outrun it. I need your help. Men are not like that. And let me tell you that it has really painted a picture for me about the place that men serve in my life. You are to be enjoyed. Nothing more. You don't add to situations like you think you do. And being a provider, it's nice. But it turns out that so much stuff I have to do on my own, even when you are providing, even when you're there, you're not there. It's another video. My point today is that if you're going to do something, do it. The same way that I don't need this person's backstory. Oh, that's what I was trying to say about the two men. This man was getting ready to go into this long soliloquy about I said, I don't give a shit about none of that. Tell me what it is that you want. If I can do it, I will. He said, we're looking for some sandwiches. I said, I got you. If I've got it, I'll give it. It doesn't hurt I lose no light on my candle by illuminating yours. I lose no light on my candle by illuminating yours. Don't. And I have been so blessed. I have been so blessed. There were times where I was in trouble. People didn't ask no questions. They just did what I needed them to do. There are times where I can look back and I can recognize, damn, I didn't even see that at the time because I was so far in it. I recognize you and I thank you. I look back on little things that happened when I was little. All the sacrifices that my mother made because I didn't have my father. He wasn't part of I'm one of those black families. Oh, and thank you, Jesus. Because he wasn't worth shit. My childhood was good because he was gone. I'm a strong believer in that. There was something not right about him. I mean, he was good looking, so I understand how she got there, but I was like, oh, I'm glad you got away from that. Nonetheless, if you're going to do, if you're going to be, if you, you don't need a book and some dude from on high, a dude, a dick, a man, to tell you how to behave. If you need someone else to tell you how to behave, there is something wrong with you. Let that sink in.